Now this is what I'm using for conduit. It's watertight. They call it conduit. It's 1/2 inch. And see, I got to drill a hole, and I'm going to use a paddle bit. And this is the only paddle bit I was able to locate. And see, that's going to fit just fine. That's going to give me a little bit of a slop. In fact, I might drill 2 holes and try to break out a little bit so I can kind of move this around to try to fish it in there. So somehow I'm going to have to straighten this out. And if it doesn't straighten out enough, you know, because it's been sitting like that at the store. That was like $11 for a 25-foot piece. The 1/2 inch aluminum flexible conduit was like $20. So this was $10 cheaper about. Now the fittings cost just a little bit more, and they're kind of slick. I'll show you that after a while. But see, I'm going to have to take out enough of this and kind of straighten this out as much as I can, because you can see that once I shove it through the hole, it's going to curl up. And I've got to somehow get this and try it a few times, see if I can shove that through.
Hand it to me.
We're going to go fishing in a little bit. See if I can do it.
Hand it to me.
Think I can do it, Pops?
Hand it to me.
Hand it to you. Oh, okay. I'll cut the length of it, and I'll have you start straightening it out for me. Okay.
Right.
All right. Cool. So no matter what, I know I've got to use this flex from this cabinet and through the cabinet into the wall. Then I can stop this flex, and then I can go with Romex cabling. Okay. So I'm going to use this stuff here at least from about there on over. About 6 feet there, and then I got to go up to the plug at least 7 feet or so. And maybe just a little bit more, 8 feet. I could cut it 8 feet. Double check. I don't want to mess up with this. If I have to cut, you know, I could cut a little bit longer and then cut it again if I have to. You know.
Good idea.
Maybe I should do that. Make it well, at least 8 feet. Actually, you know what? I'll make it 10 feet because I'm gonna need a piece up in here, maybe 1.5 feet long, and then I can cut that off the end, so I can measure out 10 feet from that and then start straightening that out. Get my pops to work. The other cool thing about this is you can cut it apparently with a sheetrock knife. Now don't cut it up against the floor. This is brand new linoleum. I'm just going to use my knife here and kind of saw it off. Okay, there it is. That's kind of slick.
Yep.
Now do you see what I'm going to try to do? I've got to take this flex and I'm going to have to go through the hole back here and push it through there, and it's going to kind of curl on me, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, and I might have to, you know, kind of twist it or whatever and see if I can reach it on the other side. But you know what? My pops came up with a good idea. Now see, I got to put my Romex cabling through that. I can do it that way, or I could strip this cabling. Now this is just a small piece. I've got a longer piece, but see, here's my 12-2 Romex with ground, and that's going to shove through here. Now I could put that through first, let's say, and make this stiffer, but my pops had a good idea. He said, hey, after you drill it, just use this and try to fish this. See how much straighter this is?
Yep.
And if I can fish that through the next hole, then through the cabinet of the sink over here, then as this is through, then I can push this and just start feeding this in. You know?
Off the Romex.
Right through from the cabinet side. And I can just take it, keep pushing it, see? Now that's going to be a little bit difficult too because it's going to want to get stiff on me. You know, but I think if I pull it straight at both ends, it might be a slight chore. I might be able to slip it in far enough, you know,
Make it work.
to then grab it from here and pull it through the rest of the way. Oh man.
That sounds okay.
You know, it's already binding up, so another thing I could do is strip this off because all the stuff that's inside this cable, it doesn't have to be in this Romex. And if you're using this just a small little piece, you can do that. But I could strip this off and have just the 3 wires going through here, let's say, okay? And slide it through that way, you know, just up to the cabinet or something like that. That could work too. We'll just have to see. Last thing I want to do is really, I really don't want to remove this dishwasher. I'm trying to do this without removing the dishwasher. It's just going to add a lot to it. Then you got a chance of your fittings underneath there, your water fittings later on leaking. I mean, this thing's 30 years old. Once you start touching things with water, you know, you think, hey, all I did was disconnect it. You know what happens. Half the time it leaks, you tighten it up and it doesn't tighten all the way. You loosen up another fitting or something and all of a sudden you're like, why did I do that? Okay, so that's why I'm trying to go the extra mile and not have to remove that dishwasher.